Bamm Ericsen here with Empire Season 3. We're back. You happy? All right, let's go.
Turning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Jussie Smollett and Rumor Willis, simple song from last night's
I didn't know
episode.
she could sing.
I didn't know she either, yeah.
Was she singing though? I felt like it was a bad lip sync. I don't know. Is this really her singing?
still
Or
her
is it someone
voice.
That's still
else?
her
It
voice,
is?
yeah,
For
yeah.
sure that's her
Because
voice.
during the Q&A well, we'll talk about it in a second. Hey, what's up? I'm Bamm Ericsen. You can follow me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen.
I'm Jill Munroe. Welcome back. You can follow me at Stiletto Jill everywhere.
Hello, it's Rhavin with the V McSweaney. Glad to be back, and you can find me at B Stays Busy everywhere.
Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm Abigail Fraher, and you can follow me on all social media at Abigail Fraher.
Okay, so yes, she's singing. The reason that she was cast was because Jussie had heard her do a YouTube video and went to casting and was like, "Yo, we need to have her on the show." So I'm assuming she knows how to sing because Jussie saw her do a YouTube video.
Okay, look at Bamm coming through with the backstory.
Yes. Okay.
I thought it was because her mom's going to be on later, but we can talk about that later.
We can and knock that shade off. All right?
I know. I was like, there's like 45 seconds of that shit.
There's not shade. I like her character.
That's how the episode started, with a lot of shade.
So let's go right into it because we have a lot to talk about. So Cookie and Lucious, this whole entire shots fired back and forth the entire episode. Lucious announces his Inferno project. Cookie's pissed that he's releasing music while Jamal is in rehab. So fire shots, get ready. Before we get in, well, speaking of fire shots, Remy Ma performed.
Go ahead, Remy. Take what else you can from this. I mean, no. Remy E3rd, She-third, Nicki Minaj. She should have stopped at 1.
Yes.
You know, Nicki made the popped hit. Went and got Wayne and Drake to help her out. That's how it goes. She has the radio tune, but Remy won the street battle, and you know she backed it up, dropping on Fox. So kudos to you, Remy. You'll never. She's not Nicki.
Yeah.
I don't mean it like as a diss. I'm just saying.
She said you'll never.
I ran it back.
Yeah. She won't.
But you know, I mean, good for her.
And Sticky
them
Fingers
checks.
played. He didn't.
That's not Sticky Fingers.
He
That's
didn't
the
play-
other one.
Was that Federal Star?
No, that's right. You're right. That is Sticky
But he
Fingers.
played a different character. But whatever. It was great to see. It was great to see Remy Ma and Sticky Fingers. Perform.
Oh, he wasn't the same character that
No,
he was last
he was a different name. Yeah.
Wow,
They
I
did
was
say
wondering
their
about
name.
that.
They did.
I thought he was a thug, goon, and a rapper.
But like people do all
Everything.
these performances just to let you know that an
Yeah.
album's coming out. Like that's what we do now.
But hold that thought because we have so much to talk about and we are limited on time. So listen, all right, so with that being said, the shots are fired. So we have Cookie. So Cookie retaliates by bringing out Mother Walker doing the Lucious speech. Okay, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Just a simple question. Why can't Lucious release music while Jamal is in prison? What is the big deal?
I'm not sure about that either. I think
yeah.
she's more irritated because he's still coming for her with Angelo.
I think this whole episode, everything comes back down to feelings being hurt and taking aggression out and making decisions just based on how it's going to hurt the other person rather than actually stepping back and looking at the whole picture. So I don't think there's anything wrong with Lucious doing it, but I think that she's still mad at him.
So you think
if he would just let her
They're just
live.
gonna butt heads the whole time.
I think part of it is she's supposed to be head of A&R and take care of all the music stuff. So she feels like you are moving in on my area once again. And we've talked about that. You deal with the business side. I deal with the music. And to your point about...
And went completely behind her back, I guess, too, with the whole album. So.
And, you know, the whole... I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna two up you. I got it because what Lucious did was low, but I felt like bringing Mother Walker out there.
That was a bit extreme. But I think the whole Angelo thing, like he won't let her live.
Yeah.
Like that's the part where she's like, okay, you keep pushing
And
it.
I was underwhelmed with the bringing the mom out. I
It
thought
seemed
there would be
weird.
more there because that's such a huge thing revealed. I
You said your mom was
It
dead.
definitely just got skimmed over too after that.
Right.
It was weird.
Well, I do feel like what Lucious did regarding bringing the music out, I felt like her reasoning for being upset, like, okay, yes, Jamal is in rehab. So who cares? So like, is the company? So
we stop?
So would Bad Boy stop because so Faith Evans puts out an album, but then the Locks can't. I mean, what you're the goal in the music business is you want to monopolize the top 10 Billboard. So if Lucious comes out with an album, okay, cool. So let him dominate Billboards or iTunes for 3-4 weeks while Jamal is getting what he needs to do, and so that you can monopolize, because the money and the music industry is all based off of like quarters. And so like, okay, let Lucious monopolize the first quarter, then let
come out of rehab,
He
market
can
the
bounce
shit out of
back.
it. But piggybacking off of that, I think that it all kind of touched on what I was saying, where they're not making necessarily business decisions, because that was the same thing with Lucious choosing Nessa over Tiana.
We're gonna talk about that. But so Lucious retaliates by announcing during the press conference, rather than address the Mother Walker situation, he goes over it, and then he co-signs for a mayor that's against Angelo, and then he's offering $300,000 to anyone who knows info regarding the incident.
Just fishing real hard.
Right, like this is 20 plus years ago, and now you're getting into politics, Lucious.
The
Sit down.
dubious DeBose did have a ring to it. Dubious DeBose.
That was catchy.
So there was 3 incidents. So this is the first incidents where they both threw shots. So what's your take? Do you who won this battle? Do you think Cookie by bringing out Mother Walker, or do you think Lucious by going into the whole Angelo situation? Do you have a side that you want to take?
I still think Cookie bounced back because
at this point,
because there was literally shots were fired 3 times. So this is the first one. So what's your take on the first?
Lucious definitely got this round because it affects more of a future. His whole situation is more long term, I think.
Yeah, before I saw the next scene when he offered the money, I was like, people are gonna come for the check. People are chasing the check all day, so you can definitely get a few people that are going to vouch.
I will go with Cookie with this one, simply because with the reveal of Mother Walker back, Lucious potentially for a moment or two lose the street credibility, because he said his mom was dead. So at some point he's gonna have to answer that. So for this instance, Cookie wins this battle. Okay, so shots fired between Cookie and Lucious, number 2. Let's go into Andre and Hakeem first. Hakeem wants Tiana to be featured, the artist, on the next showcase, which now they seem to have these concerts all the time. I'm not mad, it's cool. Cookie already approved, but Andre wants Nessa, obviously. So now Lucious walks in, and then he chooses Nessa to piss off Cookie. All right?
There's a couple of things that were confusing. If it's a next showcase, why would Tiana be performing? She's the crown jewel of the label. So that, I got it, but that thing was kind of off to me, because if it's a show, when I hear the word next, I feel like that's the up and coming one. So.
But I think that it was for her to headline, to basically, she has an album coming out.
Yeah, to push. So
I think it was.
It's like a promo concert, like if an artist or something was coming out and they were to do.
No, I got it.
Microsoft Center.
I wanted it to be because it just didn't line up to me.
Right. With the title.
And then part 2, to your point, with her album coming out, are she and Nessa coming out at the same time? Like, are their albums launching, it seems like, the same day or something like that? Because
Nessa have an album?
I didn't even hear any songs from Nessa's album, technically, except for that one that she did last.
Confused
if it's, to push out her album sales, we don't have long leads anymore.
Well, goes back to Abigail's point that it was purely based off emotions why he chose Nessa.
If she has enough to perform, why isn't she coming out with an album?
Well,
there was just things that didn't add up there for me.
It did not, but I believe that Nessa does have material, and so as long as she has material where she can perform a song in front of the platform of the Empire Extreme, then all you need is a single to push the streaming, which then would do the single, then the single on iTunes and Billboard. So all you need is one song. She doesn't necessarily have to have an album, especially in the hip hop game, where you would do a lot of singles to lead up to the big album.
Yeah. True.
So I get where they're going with the Nessa situation. So Hakeem and Andre are butting heads. So now it's natural. So now let's go forth. So shots fired too. So now we're at the showcase. Nessa She's ready to perform. She's got her mic.
Looking like a star.
Yeah.
Slinging
She was
the
giving
joint
real
7
Maya.
inches.
Was she not giving you Maya with the little glitter sweats, like old school?
What did I think? I don't know. I was just
More
like,
Leah
look at
than-
the inches.
Oh yeah,
More
Leah
Leah,
too.
yeah.
Yes.
I felt like Aaliyah, Are You
stomach-
That Somebody
Yes,
video or something like
yes,
that. Yeah.
absolutely.
So Nessa's ready to perform, and Cookie shows up. She shows up. She sits down. She's ready for whatever the performance
The secondary
is.
show.
I feel like I should
Yeah.
know by now when that kind of stuff happens to expect something.
Some fireworks.
But I didn't.
And so now Nessa is singing, and then her mic is cut off, and then ta-da, Hakeem.
I loved that moment.
Open-
Do your thing,
too.
Hakeem and Tiana. And
I love his hair too right now.
You know what I
actually.
thought though, actually, in watching that whole thing, they really should just make it like
A three-
boys,
yeah.
Boys Mind, 2000s, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that was the theme of the song, but just the three of them do the song together, and it works with the little animosity.
Yeah.
It did until the end.
Until it didn't.
So just open discussion. So now let's talk about this Nessa Tiana catfight. So the performance.
I
was
enjoyed the
completely-
performance.
I enjoyed the performance. Like I said, I enjoyed.
Because if I was an
seeing-
audience member, I wouldn't have even known. I would have thought that's how it was supposed to
planned,
be, and
yeah.
it actually worked out pretty well. And just where Exhibit was trying to storm, and Andre's like, "Chill, she's a professional. She knows how to handle it," and she did that. She
did.
handled it.
until
I
she
don't know
got
how
all,
he knew the microphone came back on. He was standing there the whole time. How did he know when it came back on?
I'm just assuming that at that point he's backstage making sure, like, Andre truly loves Nessa, and he's kind of like her manager now. Like
course.
Exhibit.
But I didn't see him leave.
But I would imagine with something like that going on, we don't need to literally see him. Like he's doing what he needs to do to make sure that his woman is going to be on point at some point, because he kept coaching her from the side, like, you know, you got to just, you know, relax.
She wanted to flip somebody's wig at first, and she looked at him like,
Yeah. But I mean, she pulled it together. She handled it, and I also think too, which we also have to keep in mind, is that Empire. Well, until a certain point when they threw blows, but Empire's a business, so he knows that some of this controversy is good for business.
Right, right.
So you know,
It's
don't get too
always good.
upset. You know, embrace it.
Right.
Now, so then when they're going back and forth with the song, when Nessa's mic gets turned on, she's singing and they're dancing and doing the whole thing. Now, when the performance is over, when their backs was turned, that's when you felt that something was about to happen. What's your take on the fight? Who won and who was right?
See, that's where I'm torn. It's like who won, but who really won? Because I think Nessa won the fist fight, but I think Tiana won in the public opinion because Nessa looks ratchet after
Yeah,
this whole
Nessa
thing.
just straight threw her off the
Yeah.
stage. There are rarely times when I'm like mouth open. Like I was just like, what? She just straight threw her
Right.
off the stage.
And
I
she
thought
got
maybe
some
a little
punches.
bump. I thought maybe a little, you know, dynasty slap. I don't know. I didn't expect her to straight throw off the stage and then jump off like squat up. You know, but I was proud of Tiana. She was like,
She got some hair out.
right.
I thought she was
Took
going
a
to get
track
beat
out.
down for a
I thought
second.
she
But
was
I
too,
wasn't a fan of
but-
the fight at all, actually. I just,
Too much. You don't want to see two women out there
No,
like that.
yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, make it good for business, but then the fighting part is just like, okay, it's going to end up on the blog sites. It's like, I don't know.
And
it's just
shine with
tacky.
a let them fight, let them fight.
Yeah.
What? You can't be my
Well,
like.
yeah, they from the streets. I get that part. I just wanted to see her continue. Like, she did so well professionally. I wanted to see her do that to the end.
Hands down for me, Tiana won not only the fight, but she won everything. So yes, Nessa did throw her off the stage, but when you notice when they were tumbling, Tiana was on top most of the time. So if she's on top most of the time as they're, you know, windmilling or doing whatever they're doing, she's probably getting in more of the hits.
Right.
And on top of that, she did pull the hair and she did slap her at least one good time. So I'm going to say the winner in this fight is Tiana. And then also, Tiana made a good point. You sabotaged my dress
Yeah.
in a couple episodes back.
Like, we're not gonna let that die.
So I'm not gonna, like, bitch, I ain't forgot what you did.
I mean, would you?
No.
Do you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't think
if
she's
you were about to
wrong
go
at
on
all.
stage and I like lit fire to your dress, you'd be mad as hell.
I mean, she's
girl.
lucky she just went on the stage and outperformed her.
Right.
And that was it. Because I would have done a whole lot more. I would have had some stuff dropping from the damn I don't play that.
Violence.
But
That's my
I think
income.
what they should have done is after the song was over, they should have did a quick bow and then waved off the stage and left Nessa there on the stage to figure out what she was going to do and how she would
next,
handle it.
yeah.
That would have been the appropriate thing to do. Like, if you're going to be petty, you got to go full.
All the way,
You have to go
right.
full 110 petty, and they should have, you know, made
Push that a little
yeah.
further.
Yeah, I don't know. That part just felt weird. And then the whole phone call after, and it was just like, okay, we're gonna leave them to themselves, and it was just weird, that part.
We mentioned Andre and Exhibit, just Shine, excuse me. So Shine has his own parking spot.
Shine looks scared. Let's just get to it.
Okay.
Shine
Well,
looks
okay.
scared.
He looks
Shine,
concerned.
he knows.
He's not sure.
He's
He's
an
not
unstable
sure.
man
Yeah.
too, conspiring to kill some. Like, that's
His-
scary.
You know, Andre is talking about killing his dad to Shine, and Shine's like, my army, my people. Like,
Right.
I think
he's figuring it out. And Andre is not
stable.
stable, and
Because
Andre
he
is not
probably
his
let it
friend.
slide the first time, but then he confirmed it the
But
second
also,
time.
with Inferno coming out, I feel like now Shine's like, well, let's just chill because this is actually a really good entrance for Nessa. So I don't think he's really down with the whole.
Because he's
Killing
getting what he
Lucious
wants,
thing right
you
now.
know?
Right,
He got
life's
his
kinda
money,
working
he got
out
his
for him.
company,
Yeah.
he's got the little place, he's making moves, they're
Right.
making money. He's like, I'm
Right.
good for a
And
second.
Andre is saying it so, I don't know, he's saying it so nonchalantly.
When I
Like
killed
they're in the
Lucius.
parking lot and he's talking in his outdoor voice about it. You know, it's not.
Right, in the parking lot of Empire. It's not like
Right.
you're in a random place. It's not like,
Right. I don't know if Shine believes him, maybe. I don't.
No, I believe Shine
No, I think
believes him,
Shine
but
believes him. He knows he's
Yeah,
crazy.
I
I
think-
think he's concerned.
I think the problem with Shine is a wankster. He's not like a real gangster type dude because, you know, he's one of those kind of people when he has his people around him, oh, he's tough and he's bad about it. But remember when Andre stood up to him and was like, no, Dad, I got this. Like, he thought he was going to punk Andre and not realizing
Right.
that, you know, don't get it twisted because I'm somebody in a suit. So I think Shine knows exactly who Andre is, and to be quite frankly, I think he's quite intimidated by him, which is why he's taken a back seat, and he's let Andre
He sure has.
manage Nessa. It's like borderline. It's like, well, he's also simple-minded. All he wanted was a position at Empire, bragging rights. He's got his parking spot. He seems to be content, like
like
whatever.
happy. He is on cloud nine.
Look, he's not
Yeah.
even possessive with Nessa anymore.
Right.
She can do what she wants.
Let her hit him.
Well, when you're afraid of your sister's man,
Yeah.
I guess. You know.
So what's your take? So Andre seems like he truly is going to kill his dad, and Shine doesn't seem to want to have anything to do with it. Do you think by him incorporating Shine's goons, do you think that's going to hurt him, or do you think he should go and get his own goons?
I think he should
his
go and get his
own
own
goons.
goons. Because you remember that one part where Lucius said something about family, and Shine was like, yeah, speaking of your family. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
No.
It was like speaking of your family, but then someone else walked in, and it just made me feel like he wanted to say something.
I'm sure he does because he's probably a little shook. He doesn't know,
Yeah.
you know, and he knows that Andre is bipolar. So
Does he know?
yeah,
I think
it
he
was,
knows
'cause
something's not
remember,
right.
I'm sure Nessa told him to.
I thought that he said something to him about it last season or whatever. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought when they had one of those altercations, he said something to him.
I think Shine is uneasy because Lucius is crazy, Cookie is crazy,
Yeah.
and now the oldest son seems like he can't be
He done
like,
lost it.
like not that he lost it, but he's not somebody that you can F with. So between Cookie, Lucius, and now Andre, who's also a tough guy, and he also beat my ass, he's like, oh gosh, okay, you know, like he's intimidated.
Right. And he's just gonna side with someone.
There's
I feel
definitely
like
no
he
argument that
believes
he's
in another.
intimidated.
Okay, so shots fired between Cookie and Lucius, number 3, the finale. All right, so before we get into that last one, Becky, Thurston, and Xavier. So,
Becky should have left. I keep telling y'all
You've
that
been
they're
saying
not going
that.
to respect her. They're not going to give her props. And she came so close. I felt so bad when Becky was sitting in the meeting smiling, thinking she was going to be announced as the A&R person.
but let's go back before that. So Thurston takes Becky with with him to do this whole business between trying to do the
For Fat Rat's mama.
Yeah, for Bamm's mom, as well as he's also has a plan in motion, which he goes and pays the radio off, which eventually gets Javier fired. So Thurston is street hood. He can multitask. He can do a lot of things. I felt like Becky was just being a brat and not really understanding why she was there. Do you think she was in her feelings because did she think maybe her and Thurston was gonna go on a romantic date together? Like, what's your thoughts on Becky and her reacting the way she did?
I think she wanted a breakdown of the game plan and not knowing that she was on a whole nother mission. I think that totally kind of distracted her in the sense of like, so you're not even worried about me at all. I thought you were gonna help me.
This is just about some Lucious stuff, and I'm just rolling out with
Here
you
I
as the
am
shotgun.
again, being dragged in some Lucious mess. I'm just a stand-up girl. I hold it down.
But for the first time, I actually thought, this is why you haven't been promoted. This is why you're not doing what you want.
She's too whiny.
She whines. She's not really a take charge kind of person.
Right.
She also likes everything to be figured out for her. So it's like, why should you be running something? If you can't even do the basics yourself,
Then
I don't really see why you should be in that position. I mean, I felt bad for her all the other episodes until this one, and then I was like, this girl needs to just stop whining. It was just annoying to
And
me.
even when Javier was like, if you show me out in front of people again, I'll get you fired.
He didn't even say I'll get you fired. He said I will fire you. And I was like, wait, can you do that?
Right. I was like,
Were you happy with Javier's with his
dismissal or his
dismissal?
Wait.
I never liked
Xavier,
him.
excuse me, yeah.
I never liked him either, and I swear this time he looks even more like hood, or he's trying. I don't know,
like with his gold
like a
chain and his
balding.
hoodie. It's like the Brooklyn hipster
I just found
look or
it
whatever.
very weird that as he was being escorted out, and he's like, Becky, you know me, vouch for me, and it was like, I'm sorry, did you not just come for me the last meeting?
But remember, he's been playing her this whole entire time. So obviously Becky wasn't gonna vouch for him, but in your in that desperate moment in time, you're gonna grab for anything, and Becky's the only person that he can grab because he hasn't built any kind of relationship with anyone else.
But that's still stupid to me.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Because you definitely you messed that up a long time ago, over and over and over.
And going back to shots fired too between Lucious and Cookie, I'm Team Cookie on this one. I thought it was brilliant that she decided to interject with bringing Hakeem and Tiana into the mix.
Oh yeah, we didn't say
So
for sure.
Yeah, I'm so that's
I
too, yeah.
I don't think the performance would have been boring, but I think it brought extra flair for sure.
Yeah.
Fun
She's
to
not
watch.
boring. She's cute, but I feel like that brought extra. That was the flair we needed.
So, what's your thoughts on Boo Boo Kitty now as the A&R?
Can we just real quick? Her outfit was fly.
Her outfits are
but that was,
always,
I think that might have been I loved it.
I thought it was funny
staring at her.
that she was hiding behind glass. Like nobody saw. Who is he talking
She was like,
about?
let me make my entrance.
But
Put the whole
she
all the walls are glass. She looked really good.
Incredible.
Yeah,
That outfit
really,
was
really good.
amazing.
A part of me is happy for her, kind of, because that's what supposedly she was promised, and that's what she's been trying to do. But then I was happy that Cookie, brought her own hot sauce back, and kind of was like,
Yeah. And we're going to get into that in just a second. There's a lot that we have to say about that one. What I think about Boo Boo Kitty as the A&R, well, Boo Boo Kitty did ask for the position back in 2016. It's been so
Like,
long,
she
I can't remember what
finally
episode it
getting
was. But she wanted A&R. She wanted the A&R position, so it's great for her.
I thought they gave her the A&R for Shine's company though, so is that going to roll under? Or?
Yeah, but I think that was the initial thing. But because Cookie do shots first, or
take everything
debatable,
away.
Yeah.
Lucious decided to up it, and then rather it
Let me
be
put
Shine,
you in your place.
let me up you one.
I do think it was a bit much the introduction to her position.
Right, it's
Was
like everyone knows who she
the
is.
words, those
The DNA,
words,
when
that
So
said
yeah.
the DNA.
So when he makes a dramatic speech about announcing the new A&R, he said, this lady is my biggest critic. She's the greatest ally. She's a mother for many years. She has been my muse. She is the DNA of this company. All right. So now let's go. First of all, when he was saying all this, did you guys think that he was gonna announce Cookie's name?
No.
I never thought so either.
I knew
But I was like,
I didn't think it was
Yeah.
Cookie. I didn't think it was Becky either.
But I didn't think it was her,
Yeah.
which was weird. I
wasn't
forgot all about her at that moment
you?
because I was like,
See,
I wasn't surprised, but I was just like, okay. To me, you using those words, I feel like
Okay,
I know why you heard Cookie, but
yeah. So Cookie decides to come in with this bat.
with hot sauce.
So
got hot sauce
I'm just
in my
gonna
bag.
mention a couple things and then I'm just gonna let you go. First album that went gold 6 months before I went to prison. Whose DNA is on that?
Woo.
Lucious says you nothing but a hood rat. Okay, bitch, let's play. Was in prison when the first song was inducted into the Hall of Fame. I sent tapes back and forth making sure your songs was on point before releasing a new album. I gave you 3 sons, bitch. Follow me, I'll show you DNA. Now you die, Lucious says. And then Cookie says something about this album is when you stopped visiting me in prison. It was your first whack album.
They said it was back. I remember that. She was like,
I do.
see, you needed me. Talk about Muse.
So go. I have a lot to say.
facts only. Go ahead, Cookie. I wasn't mad at her because I feel like that's something. 17 years. Do you know how long 17 years is? That's a long time. And
Right.
she's right. He built the company off her back. He distanced himself from her. And, all of this because you're hurt because she's with Angelo.
I think
Take
it was
off,
the
Cookie.
words more so. Do you think if he wouldn't have said all of that, she would have taken it that far?
She still would have been mad.
She would have been mad, but do you think she would have taken it that far?
Words can really
Like,
hurt
Yeah.
people. They
because
really
that
can.
was deep. That was like to the core right there.
Yeah.
The things he was saying.
And it's not
Based on
even, I don't even think it's a business thing at this point. This is just
Not at
a
all.
relationship. Like, I can't imagine someone that I cared about.
Absolutely.
Whether you're over them, whether you're seeing someone new or not, like, there's certain things you don't say to someone because you know they're going to tear them apart.
The mother of
And
your
he
3
just didn't
kids.
And at the end of the day, they battle all the time.
Right.
But when it's time to bat for one another, they do that.
Yes.
They throw everything down, they bat for each other. So I think that was like foul play on a whole nother level.
You just mentioned something. You said that there are some things that you should not bring into a situation. So now, I was Team Cookie for the other little cute incidents, but Cookie was flat out wrong. It was cute that she did the whole bat situation. That would definitely secure her Emmy nomination because it was a great dramatic scene. But let's really talk about this. So, Lucious wanted to release an album, okay, while Jamal's in jail. I already said, so who cares? So you want to now throw shots fired. So now you decide to take the music out of it, and then you decide to put Lucious's Mother Walker, who is not right, all there. There's no telling what she was gonna do on stage. You went beyond personal. You brought family into a business music situation, right? So now, being that Cookie, you are petty and your husband's petty. You guys are gangsters. Y'all kill people, okay? So what make you think that your husband, the man that
stop
you
at
marry,
anything.
is not going to go further than what you did by bringing his mother out on stage and revealing this huge secret? So
they don't
but you know what? Lucious doesn't care, and for that, Cookie was flat out wrong, and yeah. She did that whole dramatic thing and she beat him with the bat, but the
feelings.
reality is this was all your fault because you were upset because Lucious was trying to expand the business while your child was in rehab. So is the company just supposed to stop and go dead because
I'm
of
not
that?
mad that Boo Kitty got
think
the
that she
mark.
moved-
I'm
He
talking about
was
how he
expanding
announced it.
because Jamal was in rehab too. He didn't
The
have to worry about
the
I
show
understand
must go
where you're coming
on.
from. I know. I totally
Okay.
get it. I totally get it. But right now, this is personal. This isn't. We're not even talking about business. Like, they've always drawn the line at a certain point. They've drawn the line, and like even at the end of the scene when they were like kissing each other, they love each other. Like they, as much as they hate each other, like you can only hate someone as much as you love them.
I was like, don't do it, girl. Don't.
No.
I was so happy she
But-
pulled away and walked away.
Me too, but you can tell even at that moment, after all those hurtful things were said and the hurtful things
You
were
can still
done,
tell
like
they're both very
they're-
broken
Yeah.
too.
yes, it's just
I'm
made
not
me
mad at the
upset.
Boo Boo Kitty,
Yeah.
him giving
Yeah.
it to Boo Boo Kitty. I'm mad at how he presented it. It's the presentation of the matter. Like,
he
yes,
said. Yeah.
you won that. Shots fired. You gave it to Boo Boo Kitty. Cool, but it was how he
and
did
I
it.
don't
It
think
was
he's
just,
ever really going to appreciate what she How can anyone appreciate 17 years if they haven't spent that there?
And I'm gonna jump on
about it.
I'm gonna jump on Team Cookie's side for a second, because there was a point that she mentioned of how when you stop seeing me in prison is when your albums started to become whack.
You needed me.
So Cookie is very instrumental in why he became the king of rap, which is why he wants his throne back. So he wants his throne back, and let's say, I'm gonna say that he probably lost his throne when Cookie was in jail because he thought he didn't need Cookie, and therefore he lost his throne. And so now that he's seeing his son and is seeing that his sons are now becoming successful, he misses it. And now he's trying to prove to Cookie something that he really
can't prove.
That he can't prove.
You can't prove because you still need her.
But I'm back on Lucious side now.
He still needs her though. At the end of the day, if he's trying to be an artist.
So anything? Okay. So the kiss. Do you what's your take?
First of all, it was weird.
Yeah,
there was a weird kid. It was
I
like
was
they
sitting there
looked
awkward.
old.
I was
For the
cringing.
first time, I was like, they look like old people. Like it was really like, it was weird.
Oh, you gotta be quicker than that.
Like it was a lot of like jaw. I don't know. It wasn't a lot of lip
I mean,
action.
he was
weird.
probably in shock. You know, she did beat him in the head with the.
she really
I mean,
did.
I wasn't surprised about that, violent passions, whatever, you know, but they looked gross.
Did you think it was going to go further, or did you think no?
I was hoping it didn't, because at the end of the day, there's no resolution.
Right.
Like there was still no resolution.
But
like,
when she says she's done with him, I'm like, how many times have we heard this? I'm really hoping
I do.
that she's done.
I do think
it's hard to be done when you're attached to somebody like
Yeah.
that.
I
Like,
do think that she's done with him romantically for a while at least.
Yeah.
But I think when it comes to their children, so now let's go into Jamal is in rehab.
No, he is in Hogwarts. That's what that looked like. Straight Hogwarts.
So much was funny about this to me.
He and Tori Ash.
Just the whole thing was funny.
So
She was going in.
one of the things that that I liked about this is, you know, when they were at rehab, you know, they were fighting and going back and forth. Well, before I say that, what's your take on this Tori Ash girl? What's your take on her, played by Rima
I
Willis?
like her. I think she's cheesy though a little. The whole thing about rehab was this whole situation was kind of cheesy to me, but I think that she's going to be a staple in the show for a while.
It reminded me of season 1 when Andre went not to rehab, but he went to church and found Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah.
Obviously Jamal's not going to fall in love, but
They're going to be buddies.
yeah, and I was just kind of like, okay, so is she some Lindsay Brittany mix?
She's
Because they
like
talked about her
savage.
stripping at Fenway Park and ODing on heroin, and she was tearing into Cookie and Lucious as soon as they hit the
That
door.
was aggressive.
And I'm like, did they know each other? I mean, I know, because, obviously they're music industry, the Lions at this pedigree or whatever. I'm like, but why is she? I know she probably heard stories from Jamal, but that's awfully aggressive.
You know what, though?
it seemed really personal.
And I feel like now thinking back, listening to you hear it, because when Lucious and Cookie went to the studio, I was like, why is she always on 10? Why is she always? Can she just be on maybe a 7? She doesn't have to tear in, but I feel like that's how Tori is too. So I feel like it's almost a mirrored reflection of Cookie's attitude.
That's a good point. So Jamal says that he has a song on his heart and that he needs to get out and he needs to do the song. Is that an excuse to get out of rehab? And number 2, do you guys really think he's clean?
It's only been 2 weeks.
Right. Or I don't know how many weeks.
We don't know how long it's
I
been,
think
but
it's been
it's
a little longer.
but
I thought he said 2 weeks.
maybe
2 more weeks till he got out.
I was like,
because he was like, the first week was this, and so he was kind of explaining the experience.
I'm like,
through the
no.
Yeah, I think he does have 2 weeks left. So do you think he's clean? Is
I want to
Cookie-
believe
I think
he is,
he's
but for
clean
some
at the
reason-
moment, but it's a different thing once you get out there and your day-to-day interactions and dealing with these people. When you're, isolated from the real world, it's a different thing. I do think that music helps him to get through these things. I know why it might. Obviously the rehab counselor or whatever was like, no. And I understand because you're just supposed to focus on your healing and getting better. But I think for him, it is very therapeutic. And considering they mentioned that Tori hasn't performed in forever or put out any music, I'm sure that their connection is going to be huge. Because remember, somebody saw him on Snapchat. That's how they found him.
So then it seems also weird that for someone who hasn't performed in a long time to just come into the studio and sing, but I'm not gonna be petty about that.
We
But
don't know how
also,
long
like,
that they've been-
storyline wise,
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they keep trying to press on us are you good? Are you sure? Like how Cookie is constantly asking him. I almost feel like they want us to feel like it's not over.
I feel like,
It's almost the tone.
I just think it was overly pushy. I agree.
Yeah,
It's like, how many times are we gonna ask if the boy's on something?
Because now we don't think we don't think he's ready. Like now you're making us feel like he's not ready.
I do agree with Lucious. I do think that Cookie wants him out just so that he can focus on music, and I think that both the parents need to understand that, first of all, you threw the child in a trash can when he was a kid. He got shot. You know, his dad never liked him until
PTSD.
His dad never liked him probably until
recently.
Now that he's making money.
And when Cookie and Lucious were arguing and rehab, when you were watching him, he seemed like he was losing it.
Yeah.
So
like he wanted to go grab a pill.
That's a trigger.
Yeah, it's a trigger.
I definitely agree with that. I think that that's something we'll look out for.
Yeah. And then Cookie and Lucious stopped fighting to become mom and dad, husband or wife, when they realized that Jamal was missing. Now, you want to talk about wardrobe.
That wasn't even
Cookie's wardrobe. She had the fur coat. She had the white top. She had
Cookie was fabulous.
I wasn't a fan of one of them outfits, and I can't remember. It was the pants that had like the little
that was
tchotchkes.
it. When they went on the mission to look for Jamal, that wardrobe was like, okay, wow.
Oh, that was after the next.
That's the same
thing,
one
right?
when she was with Jamal later and sat on this couch and was talking. Okay, I was
I liked it. I thought it was pretty
I
dope.
like the fur.
I like the fur. And I like the white.
But again, Cookie and Lucious, they're fighting, but when it comes to their children, they totally know how to forgive.
But how long does that last? Because they all came to the rehab to see how he was, and then they start arguing about why he's there, because Cookie, because Lucious is like...
Yes, and then they were back at each other's odds, but then once they realized that Jamal was missing,
boom.
The two killers basically went and got their people. They went and got D Major. They hemmed him up to try to find out where he was. And then the poor boy who was... they got...
cereal.
There was Portia. There was Portia. Portia got snapped on.
She was out of line.
Well,
you might be doing crack
in the crack house.
Come on, Portia. Come on.
You trying to someone to get to the crack house.
Then there was the poor man eating cereal in the studio.
Okay, when that happened, I was just felt so bad for him because I really just felt that cereal being thrown
I
up.
felt bad, but then I didn't feel bad because you lied. You still lied and said you didn't see him, so you needed to get shoved in milk all over you. Stop playing. Where my son at?
So the simple song, what did you guys think? So they weren't doing drugs. Obviously, they were singing the song. What did you guys think?
I liked the song.
I liked it. It felt formulatic. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Formula. No, I mean formula. It felt like a formula, like kind of cookie cutter in a way, but I still appreciated it. I just felt like it was something I'd heard before.
Kind of, a little. It sounds familiar, but then again, we can always say a song of inspiration and pushing through kind of sounds.
I'm not sold on him needing to, because he wants to sing now, he needs to get out of rehab. You also notice that at the very end of the episode, when Cookie was supposed to take him home, while Cookie and Lucious was having their finale with the bag and kissing and making up and leave, Jamal was at Cookie's house playing the piano. So technically he didn't go back to rehab. I'm just not sold on this whole thing about how, because you want to sing now, all of a sudden you need to
come out.
You need to say yes.
Is he not going back?
I don't know. That's a good question.
On that point too, when they're like, no, there's no music in rehab, then why were they singing in the room that has the great acoustics? Like I know
everybody heard that.
You can't
record.
You can't. There's no type of devices or anything, but they could sing all they want.
But then do that for a little while.
That's exactly what I think.
Write some music.
Yeah.
Plan it out. Record later.
The song I thought was cool, but I thought it would have been better if Rumor was singing by herself.
Oh, we can't take Bamm's input on that because Bamm is anti-Jamal. Bamm don't mess with Jamal, so.
He said, X him out.
Look. He's like,
do I need to break it down? Can you at least...
I actually enjoyed his voice on this song because it wasn't falsetto. It wasn't pitchy.
It was still a bit high.
I enjoyed that.
It was still a bit high.
I feel like I can sing it now.
Use your lower register, especially when Rumor. She's not a soprano. She has one of those. She has a lower voice, so
kind of.
She was covering voice.
So you need to. So you need to. Anyway,
I on Bamm's side.
Anyway, I'm not. Yeah. So the final thing, and I know we have to wrap up. The final thing.
Sip tea.
Two things. How soon do you think before Cookie beats down Tori because she tried her twice?
Oh, she gonna snatch her wig at some point.
Yeah.
She's gonna snatch her wig.
She's asking for it too, though.
Yeah.
Like, she wants that. though.
She does. She wants a fight.
Yeah, she does. Okay,
She
so
wants a reason to hit her, I think.
the last thing, and then we're gonna wrap up. So Tariq, Bam Bam, Lucious, and Thurston. So Lucious gets Bam Bam not to testify, and so Tariq is now on paid leave. He's dismissed from the case.
Good.
Now, y'all know that's not. What do you think? What's open discussion? What do you think? What do you think?
I was wondering if he was gonna do like some hood shit, but then I was like, he's not really about that, is he?
He's
Because I'm like,
obsessed,
the
though.
He's
storyline, because
obsessed,
now
yeah.
the story, where's
So
the
now
story
I think
go?
he's going to take it into his own hands,
Yeah,
and some
he's-
illegal stuff's going to happen.
Yeah,
on
he's
his
gonna be
end.
watching and trying to set something up to
That's
make it
just
go
boring. Like, what?
It is. I'm
No,
kind of over him,
I
but
actually. I don't think it's boring only because with him not having to necessarily play by the rules, being that his brother Lucious has pretty much did everything by the book to make sure that this doesn't happen, now he has to get his hands dirty.
Yeah.
And
Actually be creative.
he and Lucious are brothers.
He got it in him.
And he looks up to Lucious.
And he's got some hood-ish ways in him, so I actually like that he's not going to play by the rules now
I
because
just
now
hope it's worth it.
I like that his supervisors know, that
they're related.
Yeah. And that he has an agenda.
But even if he gets his hands dirty, based on that knowledge, is there a lot that he can use?
Yes, absolutely.
If he gets the right information or the right thing,
Well, one of the things that he has Mother. I mean, he has so many resources. He has Mother Walker. Now shots are fired. So now will Cookie go back? Like, there's so many things that we can go.
There's so many avenues they can take.
We can
Lots
discuss
opened
that in predictions, but just really quickly, it's been announced that in addition to Rumor Willis, who has a reoccurring role, her mom Demi Moore will be coming in toward the tail end of the season. Nia Long will be coming in, which if you saw the preview, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because it seems like she's taken over the A&R position over Boo Boo Kitty.
They're trying to open a club in Vegas or something like that. So it's gonna be.
And then
Hey, didn't we see
Yeah.
Angelo getting punched out or something? Wasn't that in the trailer? Who was
I didn't see
getting
that.
socked out that was tied up on the chair?
I don't know.
I don't know what that
remember
is.
Was that in a dream?
No,
Eva,
I saw
Eva
it.
Longoria is also
Yeah.
coming,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
Felicia Rashad will be back. So really quickly, let's go into predictions so we can wrap.
Your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
I think that everything's going to get only more interesting. I think this episode was, now that we've kind of went over it again, I was telling you earlier, I was a little underwhelmed by it, but I think it's going to pick up a lot.
Really, you were
The
underwhelmed?
setup.
Not underwhelmed, but just, some of the things weren't as exciting for me as I expected. But I think that there's going to be a lot more drama, obviously, and I'm interested to see what is going to happen with, surprisingly enough, Tiana and Hakeem.
I feel that I really want to know what's going to happen to the point where Angelo's mom is like, I'm going to make the Lions pay. Something happens to the point where Lucious is not giving up firing shots at Angelo, and I'm wondering how that's really going to affect his relationship with Cookie, Angelo's relationship with Cookie.
I'm curious to see what's going to go down between Cookie and I don't know what Nia's character's name is, and Boo Boo Kitty, because Boo Boo Kitty is still his wife, but obviously he and something's heating up with him and Nia rekindling the past, and Cookie and Nia coming out against each other.
That's
could
gonna
be
be good.
interesting.
Well, speaking of that, just in my notes, I have Nia Long's character. Boo Boo Kitty and Cookie may have to join forces to take her down because
That's a good thought.
she-
Yeah.
Did they do that once before? Like they were kind of friendly?
Yeah, sort of.
I liked it when they were
Frenemies.
friends.
Yeah.
I liked
but
when
this,
they worked together.
But this Nia Long character seems, first of all, she's
Vicious.
effing, she's messing. She seems to be in a relationship with Lucious, while Lucious is technically married to save his behind, which he clearly doesn't care what's going on. So this can all, Tariq can all now. This is why I think this is going to become good, because with Lucious messing with Nia Long while he's married to Boo Boo Kitty, you got nosy Tariq who's eating sardines and cereal in his studio apartment
no milk.
with
With no job to go to.
Yeah, and then I wonder, will well, Demi Moore's character, will she be related to Rumor? They are mother and daughter. So I'm just curious to see where this character is coming. They did say at the screening that I attended that Demi will come in on the finale.
Yeah.
She's coming in on the finale.
And she plays a nurse.
Yeah, and she's gonna do something that's gonna bring it into season 4.
She's playing a nurse. We know someone's going back to the hospital.
Yeah. And then my final thing is with the rehab. I believe that Jamal will be out because, I know that the Philip character and D Major's character have more stuff.
Okay.
And Philip character played by Juan Antonio, he'll probably be here next week. So,
make sure you check that out.
So there has to be more. So if he's in rehab, there's no point of at least Philip character, and then we don't need D Major because he's not working with Hakeem. Right. So that's why I feel like he's gonna get out, and we'll see. But I think great episode. Yeah. It's great to be back. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let everyone know where you guys can be found on social media before we wrap.
Thanks guys for joining us tonight. You can find me on all social media at Abigail Fraher.
B stays busy. Rhavin with the V signing out.
I'm Jill Munroe. You can find me everywhere at Stiletto Jill.
And you can find me on all social media at Bamm Ericsen. Thank you guys for tuning in to Empire for AfterBuzz TV Season 3. We will see you guys next week. Thank you for watching and listening.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.